This is the practice B for section 3.3. This is on the back of the worksheet. There are two fill in the blank two-column proofs. We're going to practice those because, well, we probably need to practice. So here's your diagram. They're telling you that line G and line H are parallel, and we know that because of the marks. They're also telling you that angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. You need to prove that line P is parallel to line R. Now, this is very similar to a proof that we did in the practice A's, I believe. We'll see how it works out. So line G is parallel to line H. That's given information. How do you know that angle 1 and angle 3 are congruent? This looks like the same proof. Well, these two angles are corresponding angles, and the lines that make them are parallel. So that means those have to be congruent angles. This is the corresponding angle postulate. So if angle 1 and angle 3 are congruent, you already know that angle 1 and angle 2 are congruent because that's given. What tells you that angle 2 and angle 3 are congruent then? Well, because they're congruent to the same angle, angle 1. That's your transitive property. This is the same proof that we just did. How do you know line P and line R are parallel then? Well, here's the difference. Angle 2 and angle 3 are not corresponding angles. Angle 2 and angle 3 are alternate exterior angles. So the only difference with this proof and the one we did on practice A is this last reason. It's the converse, because you're proving lines are parallel, of the alternate exterior angle theorem. So hopefully you were good on those first 4 on your own. The last one I think you could figure out as well. Hopefully we get a little something different here. So you have a new diagram. It looks like it's going to be shaping up to be the same type of thing though again. Line N is parallel to line M, you know, because of the marks. That's given. Also, angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. So I'm just going to mark them congruent there. So I'm going to mark in my given. Again, they separated the given for a reason. They don't want you to lose track of the second thing. A lot of times when you put 2 things on the given line, maybe you forget about it. If you only put 1 thing on there and think about what that thing means, then a lot of times you're better off. So angle 1 is definitely congruent to angle 3 because the lines are parallel. What kind of relationship do these angles have, 1 and 3? These are alternate interior angles. So this is the alternate interior angle theorem. Lines are parallel, so those angles must be congruent. Now, angle 1 and angle 2 are congruent because they told you. Can you then say that angle 2 and angle 3 are congruent? Well, let's look at angle 2 and angle 3. They're definitely congruent to each other because they're both congruent to angle 1. So again, it sure seems like the same problem again, so I'm hoping we have some success on this on our own. If angle 2 and angle 3 are congruent angles, how does that prove that the lines are parallel? Well, that's the converse of the alternate interior angle theorem.